Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video. It's going to be the Overwatch 2 Season 2 tier list video. Been a lot of changes. They did a lot of changes to some of the heroes. Not nearly enough balance changes because the game right now overall, even if you guys have been playing the game, maybe not at a pro level, this isn't going to be a pro level tier list. Just like your average type tier list for like ranked players. Mainly solo queue in mind. Just like your average player from like mid-silver all the way up to like high-tier platinum, kind of in that range. The balance of the game right now is just absolutely abysmal. Like, it is the point where I think it's even worse than Overwatch 1 is, and the balance changes we got for Season 2, plus a new hero we're going to be getting in 2 weeks, just for like a prediction. We got a new tank called Ramatra, which I'll be talking about a little bit as well. It's even worse than Overwatch 1. It's even to the point where I'm at the point where I don't even want to play the game again with how bad the balance is. We went from having 2 or 3 characters being absolutely busted for Season 1, and one of them got nerfed slightly, which didn't do anything. The other one got nerfed a little bit, but she's still just as good. And then now we got another 1 or 2 characters that are just absolutely busted, that are just everybody's playing and spamming, and they're just so annoying to play against. And they legit make you want to quit playing the game, pretty much. So, at least for me, I think the balance of this game is awful. It is one of the worst balanced games I think there is currently on the market, which is an entirely different video, which I'll probably be making sometime in the future, depending on how it goes. But there's just really no in between right now. It's really difficult for to have heroes. There should be way more heroes in the in-between, around your average or B tier type heroes, and there's a ton of heroes in this game that are either just a free win or they're just dog shit tier. There's not really the majority of the heroes in the game being in the middle, which is really bad. It's really one-sided. Either there's something's really incredibly good, which is the point where you just don't really even need to know how to play it, you just fucking win, or they're just garbage and you're just throwing. That's the real problem the game has right now. Don't get me wrong, there's some stuff in the middle, but not nearly enough as there should be. And it needs to be more leveled out. That's the problem with the balance. It's just fucking garbage. Let's get into it. If you guys like these types of videos, leave a like, subscribe, share the video. Gonna be talking about everything, including all the new heroes we got for Season 1, plus Ramatra, which we'll be starting out with. Here's the list. SS tier is going to be the stuff that you can just play every single game. It is the stuff that you're going to be winning with, the stuff that takes no skill to play, the stuff that is just legit brain dead. All you need to do is just play it. It is legit, it has no drawback, and all you need to do is just play it. No matter if you're good at it, if you're bad at it, if you're just average, as long as you play the hero, they are so fucking busted and they are so brain dead that you can win the majority of your games just by playing them. That is what the SS tier is going to be. S tier is your really good top tier picks that are just really, really good. Not really like SS tier, free win type picks, but your other ones that are really close to that, borderline pretty much. A tier average, B below average, C is pretty situational, D is almost borderline useless apart from one certain map or situation, and then we got F tier, which is a bunch of throw picks. If you play these heroes, you're asking to lose, which a lot of people in my ranked games seem to like to do because they always play the heroes that are some of the worst ones in the game, and then we wonder why we get rolled in about 2 minutes, and then people leave the game. That's usually what my ranked games have been, at least the entirety of Season 2 so far. I don't know how many games I've had where I've had people just throw my matches, or I have people that just leave mid-match, and then might cost my team the win. And then I get a loss on my record, and I get a loss on my rank because people leave my game or intentionally throw my game because they don't want to play anything else. That's another problem with it. That's an entirely different video. I'm not going to talk about the entire ranked format and how that's garbage as well, but I'll start this off with Ramatra. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I haven't even played Ramatra, so I can't even give you guys an accurate representation of him. I've seen him in casuals for the last couple days, and that's about it. And what I've seen in casuals, I don't think he's that good. But I said the same thing about Sojourn for the last tier list. I said Sojourn was probably going to be around mid, and she was going to be kind of more of a mid-type damage hero. And what happened? She was probably the most broken DPS the game has ever seen last patch, shortly after I threw that tier list up. So I want to say Ramatra is going to be mid, but I do think he's going to be incredibly good. I'm going to put him in S tier as a prediction. Going to be really similar to when we got Sojourn in the game. I think it's going to take about a week or two for people to actually get to play him and actually unlock him, because the main thing right now is he's locked behind the battle pass, If you don't buy the battle pass, you're fucked, and you have no way to actually play him, which is my situation. I don't want to give Blizzard $10 because they're scumbags and they need to learn how to actually balance their game first before they're going to get a cent out of me. So that I'm not going to buy the battle pass. I can't play him apart from the training range. So I got to be real with you guys. Like, I can't sit here and say I played him when I never have. I've seen him being played in some of my casual games, and they're average at best, the ones I've went against. And there's some that are just garbage. They don't know what they're doing. I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm gonna put him in S tier. I think it's gonna be ridiculously good. Once he gets put into ranks 2 weeks from now, and once people start learning how to play him, he has all the tools. He has the entire kit that can make him good. He has really good damage numbers. He has a really good kit. His ult's crazy good if you know what you're doing. He has all the tools. I think he can be really, really good. That being said, let's move on to all the other ones. Doomfist got a bunch of buffs. You know, it's really... This is what I'm talking about with how the balance was for this entire, like, Season 1 and then going into Season 2. If you guys don't realize, just Doomfist was one of the worst heroes in Overwatch 2 for Season 1. He was dog shit. I wouldn't say he was that bad, as a lot of people were saying, because I think he actually took skill to make him work, which is what I liked. If you were good at Doomfist for Season 1, you could still play him and still get away with him, which I think is how it should be. I really do. They buffed the absolute shit out of this guy. They buffed his damage, I think, on his punch, and on the damage you get when you knock somebody into a wall. They buffed his power block. They buffed something with his ult. Like, they buffed everything on him. And now he's fucking broken. The guy has pretty much no downtime. He's always jumping around. He's always pushing people off the map and knocking people off the map or into a wall. If you're a squishy character and you're 1v1 with him, good luck winning, because if you get knocked into the wall, you take pretty much your entire health bar and there's no way you win. 2-3 shots from his gauntlet and you get knocked into a wall and you're pretty much dead. And then if he gets low, he just walks away. He's able to jump away from you, so it doesn't really matter that way either. So I don't know. This is the problem when I'm saying that their balance is so garbage. Like, they took one of the worst heroes in the game and they made him absolutely fucking brain dead. Doomfist might be one of the best tanks in the game now. He went from being the worst tank, or if not one of the worst tanks, along with Junker Queen, which we'll talk about, which is sad, to being made into, like, the best, most brain dead tank in the game. I don't even know how to play Doomfist, and I played him for like 3 matches earlier tonight in ranked, and I was doing really good. I had throwers on my team. I had no heals half the game, but I was fucking destroying, and I barely fucking played Doomfist. If I can play Doomfist and I never really even played him, and I can go into a ranked game and play him for 3 matches in a row and just be the one on my team that just absolutely carries the game, when I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing half the time and I'm just clicking buttons, that says something. It really does. How fucking poorly balanced this game is. Number 1, Doomfist. That's example number 1, how bad this game is balanced. If you guys want to win, play Doomfist. Brain dead. Just click buttons and just knock people into walls. Just fucking dive on people. Like, if you can dive onto, like, even like a 2v1 sometimes, like, you can dive on the supports or dive on a DPS, you win pretty much every 1v1. Unless they have mobility and they can get away from you, like, if you can knock them into a wall, you pretty much guaranteed to kill something. That's how brain dead he is. He's absolutely fucking brain dead. Junker Queen, on the other hand, well, this is so sad. It is so fucking sad. Junker Queen as a character might be one of the coolest characters in the game, and then they nerfed her. They gave her some small, like, mini buffs. They gave her a 1-second reduction on her battle shout. And I think they made her ult a little bit less, made it so you have a little bit less ult charge to get your ult, or a little bit less time to get your ult, so it charges faster. But then they nerfed her, they gave her slightly more damage too, which doesn't really even matter. The damage that they gave on her bleeds and her wound, her passive or whatever it is, the damage is, and the healing is so negligible, it doesn't even do anything. It's better not even having that buff. And then they reduced the duration of her ult too, as like a little nerf, because you can get it back a little bit faster, which still, her ult is one of the, like, slowest charging ults in the game. It really is. It's a really shame because Junker Queen's such a cool character, but she's been garbage the entire time of this game. She was absolutely garbage in Season 1, and she is probably one of the worst tanks, if not the worst tank in the game right now. I really want to play Junker Queen, and every time I do, I feel like I'm just throwing, which is really sad. And it's really sad, too, that they gave the worst character in the game. Right now, for this battle pass, they gave the worst character a mythic skin. So people are going to try to be playing her mythic skin in ranked, and you're going to be getting absolutely destroyed by any other tank if you have a Junker Queen on your team. You're just pretty much throwing. She is legit the definition of a throw pick for a tank right now. She is fucking garbage. Her damage sucks. She just gets dove on. Her hitbox is way too big. Her healing, her passive isn't enough. You don't get back nearly enough health. You really don't. She can't do her job. Like, that's the problem. You compare her to Roadhog, and it's like night and day. They both played pretty much the same. Granted, a few little different things, but just can't do her job. I don't know. She's garbage. Really cool character. Again, poorly balanced because Blizzard does not know how to fucking balance their games. They never know how to balance the entirety of Overwatch 1 and pretty much the entirety of Overwatch 2 so far, and it's getting to be a theme. They're going to end up killing their fucking game pretty soon here. I think if the balance continues to stay this bad for going into Season 3, they're going to end up killing Overwatch 2 as well with how bad this shit is. Because nobody wants to play this, including me. It's so frustrating. It's more of a casual game. Like, the problem with ranked right now, too, is it's more of a casual. If you want to have fun, you got to play casuals. And if you play ranked, it's just play whatever's brain dead. And if you don't play it, you just automatically lose. And that's the real problem right now, too. The stuff that actually takes skill you can carry with, but you're still fucked most of the time because you're just getting shit on by all the other stuff. Or you have throwers on your team, or you have levers. That's another entire video. Winston, I'm going to put Winston at A tier. I think he's average right now. Wow, a tank that's actually somewhat balanced. That's crazy. I think he's average. Sigma, S tier, incredibly good. He is the borderline of going into SS tier. If there wasn't a few other tanks in SS tier that kind of shut him down, because Doomfist kind of does knock him around to shut him down, he would be broken. I think once Doomfist and like Orisa and maybe like one of the or two of the other tanks get nerfed and some of the other stuff that kind of checks him, I think get a little bit changes, he's going to be broken tier. He has the potential, and he has all the tools to be really busted. I just think he's kind of under power crept right now because there's a few other things that are just way better than him. He'll probably be, I'm guessing right now, I'm going to make a prediction, probably for Season 3. They're going to nerf Doomfist for Season 3 and all that other broken stuff. And then for Season 3, Sigma will be the best tank in the game, probably. That's my prediction. Ryan, A tier, average. Zarya, they finally nerfed Zarya, y'all, and she's still incredibly good. Still incredibly good, especially in your middle tier, like average tiers of ranked. Still incredibly good because people just still shoot at your barriers, and you just get charged all the way up to full health, and you're just able to just melt people still. Still incredibly annoying. I think she actually needs to be nerfed again, but they won't because they don't know how to balance their game. If they were smart, they'd nerf Zarya again. They really would, but they're not going to. Orisa, here's another tank that just goes right up into SS free win tier. It is absolutely fucking crazy how much damage she does and how much like survivability and disruption she has. I don't really know how anybody's talking about this. I really don't, especially in your like mid-tier games. Like in your higher tier games, Orisa might not be a problem, but like in your mid-tier games, especially on console, keep in mind I'm not a console or not a PC player. I'm a console player, so that might be a little bit different as well. But like especially on console, like she is fucking crazy. She really is. Like if you guys want an easy to play tank, just shoot at stuff. Like just throw your abilities at whatever moves and just melt stuff with your gun. And then when people get close to you, throw out an ult, charge it up, and then pretty much if anything is a squishy that actually gets caught in your ult, you pretty much one tap him and one hit KO him. That's pretty much what she is right now. And if you actually have healers that actually heal you, which is pretty rare to have in ranks, but if you actually have healers that'll actually heal you the entire game, she pretty much becomes unkillable. Extremely difficult to kill, constantly with Fortify as well. The Fortify is just crazy. I think she needs to be nerfed. I really do. I don't know how people aren't talking about her reason, how fucking good she is. I really don't, but she even towards the end of Season 1, like she was being power crept real hard. And she's fucking crazy. Just play her. If you want to win, pick Orisa. Just play her. Really brain dead, really easy to play, pretty much a free win. I'm going to put D.Va at S tier. I think she's still really good. Still one of the best off tanks like in the game. I wouldn't say an off tank, but because there's only one tank now, but you guys know what I mean. Hog. I think Hog can be good. I'm not going to put him in S tier. I think he's actually A tier in your middle tier ranks. If you guys want to check to Hog, like no matter what the pro players or all the other large content creators are saying that Hog is broken, that is in your higher tiers of ranked. Your diamond tiers and above, and especially on PC, most of those people don't even play on console. Like that's in your higher tiers of play. In your average tiers of play, you're just going to be getting shit on because if you don't know what you're doing, you have the biggest hitbox in the game. If you actually want to do something, you got to land your hooks. If you don't land your hooks, you're pretty much useless. And that's what comes down to Hog. There you go. At least for me, I land about 80% of my hooks. I have about, on an average, about 80 to 85% hook accuracy in the majority of my matches, so I land my hooks. That's how I make him work. He can be ridiculously good. He does have potential, but if you want to shut him down, if you're mid-tier to like lower tier ranks, you're struggling versus Hog, just group up with your team. That's all you need to do. He's really easy to check, y'all. I know it's not rocket science, but just group up with your team because he relies on getting picks. If he can't get picks, he doesn't do anything. Wow, rocket science. And you ain't gonna have any of the larger content creators that in the higher tiers of play tell you that. Easy, simple. Just use your brain. Wrecking Ball's garbage. He doesn't do anything. The problem with Wrecking Ball is he's just annoying. He doesn't do anything. He rolls around and his damage is garbage, and that's about all he does. And he'll throw out an ult on point once in a while, and that's about it. Mainly just a tank that can be annoying and doesn't really do anything. You're just better off playing any other tank, and that's the problem with Wrecking Ball right now. You're better off just playing anything else. Let's get into the supports. I think Baptiste is the A tier. The problem with Baptiste is people don't play him as a healer. They don't know how to heal. They just play him as a damage. So if you're somebody that goes into ranked and you just play Baptiste as a damage and you don't ever heal your team, I put Baptiste down here in F tier because you're just throwing your match. So if you heal with him, he's an A tier. But if you play him as a DPS and you don't heal anybody, you're better off just throwing your match and leaving because you're just throwing the game. I put it in F tier. So that comes down to what it really goes and what it does. Kiriko got nerfed. She's still incredibly good. I'm putting Kiriko in SS tier. Incredibly good, even in your mid tier of ranked. Just mainly because of her mobility. Like in your mid tier games, like a lot of the other sports, they get dove on really easy. You have mobility. You can teleport through walls. You can teleport to teammates and all that type of stuff. It's actually pretty difficult to lock you down, even if you know what you're doing at least a little bit. You have more mobility than a lot of the sports in this game currently have, and it's a lot better than most of the sports. So it is pretty difficult to lock you down, especially in your mid-tier games where you're kind of playing with your average or like mid-tier type players. And her ult's still crazy. They tried to nerf her ult, and her ult is still probably one of the best ults in the game. It's still crazy. Healing numbers are really good. Her damage numbers aren't really that good unless you can land headshots. But still, you're not really playing her for the damage. You're playing her for the heals and her ult. Just a spam ult. Brig's garbage. She's one of the worst characters in the game. It's really sad because Brig used to be one of my favorite supports to play, and they absolutely fucking killed her for whatever reason. She sucks. She doesn't do nearly enough heals. Her ult is pretty much just a worse Lucio ult, pretty much. That just doesn't do anything. There's rumors that her ult's going to be getting reworked, which they're probably going to do for Season 3. It's looking like she's going to get a reworked ult. I think she needs an entire rework at this point. I really do. Because she's fucking garbage. They took away the stun on her shield bash. They took away the bunch of her healing off her Inspire with her, was it her whip or whatever it was, her lash or whatever. It's garbage. There's no reason to play her. The problem with Brig is there's no reason to play her, and then even if you do try to 1v1 people, the one thing that made Brig good as a support is you were able to kind of play as like your own aggressive type support in Overwatch 1. Ever since Overwatch 2, they took all that capability away from her, and she has no identity, and she's just another support on the roster that just doesn't do anything, and she's just garbage. At least with Overwatch 1, like, you can play a support, and as long as you were fighting and constantly fighting, you were healing your team. Now you can fight, and you'll still just get shit on because everybody just out-damages you. You don't have a stun, your ult's garbage, and you just don't do anything. That's your problem right now. She's a shell of her former self, and she got absolutely just screwed from Overwatch 1 going into Overwatch 2, and she needs an entire rework. Really sad. I would wish to go back to the days where Brig was good back in Overwatch 1. I miss playing her in Overwatch 1 because I've been trying to play her in Overwatch 2, and every time I try to play her, I just fucking get shit on. She's garbage. And if I see people play her too, they just get shit on. Moira. I'm putting Moira in B tier. That's if you're playing her as a full-on healer. If you're playing her as a damage, put her in F tier if you're playing her as a damage. If you're playing DPS Moira in your ranked games, please uninstall. Nobody wants you on the team, and you're better off just going and playing bots, please. Nobody wants you. Please get banned. If you guys see DPS Moira in your ranked game, soloing the enemy team backline and feeding free kills, please report them. I'll put her in B tier though, just because at least as a healer, she's okay. Nothing crazy though. I think Mercy's S tier. I think Mercy's really good. She got a slight buff to her pistol, which didn't really do anything, but just for like pure heals and like utility and like the simplicity to actually be able to play her, I think she's really solid. Really simple to play, and she gets a lot of value. That's always what she's really been. Especially in your mid tiers. So Zenyatta just gets doled by everything. I think he's really bad. The only reason you're playing Zenyatta is for his damage orb and the damage amp. His healing is garbage apart from an ult, so he's kind of an ult bot, and he just gets absolutely doled by everything. You cannot do anything with Zenyatta without having an enemy tank on you, or the enemy DPS just diving on you the entire game. It makes him so unfun to play, and it just makes him pretty much useless 90% of the time. Unless you actually have a team that plays around your damage amp, which is really rare. Ana got a bit of a buff, I think, to her sleep dart. They reduced the cooldown by 1 second. I don't think she's even nearly as good. The problem with supports in this game right now is that they just feel like shit to play. Like, they're everywhere. They're either really bad or they're not. They're crazy good, like Rico's crazy good. And then there's some that are kind of in the middle, depending on how you play them. And the problem with supports in this game right now, I think, is just the worst role. It just feels like shit to play. And nobody in their right mind wants to play a support, including me. I would rather play support in Overwatch 1 than play it in Overwatch 2 up until this point. I gave it a really solid try, and I just don't enjoy it at all. It's not fun getting dolphed. It really ain't. I miss the Overwatch 1. Like, even in like Overwatch 1, there was 2 tanks. But at least as a support, I felt like I was doing something because I was always healing. Like with Overwatch 2, there's 1 less tank. Yeah, you can still heal. But if you're not healing, then you're just getting dolphed the entire game the majority of the time, because that's pretty much what it is. So either you try to heal and you try to stay with your team, or if you can't heal anybody, then you're just getting dolphed. That's usually what it is. Either one or the other. I don't know. I think Overwatch 2 completely ruined supports. That's my opinion. They feel like absolute shit to play, but I'll put Ana on A tier just because I do think she is average. Nothing crazy, but she can feel like shit to play because she gets dove relatively easy. If you don't land a sleep dart on something and you try to land a sleep dart on a Genji or a Reaper or whoever's trying to dive you with hypermobility, a Tracer, you try to land a sleep dart on that, and you're going to, at least like me, I only land them like on the characters that don't have that much mobility, but if you can't land it on those type of characters, then you usually get dove and you get killed really easy, so. Not to mention her biotic nade actually gets completely cleansed by Kiriko, which is really common right now too. So that makes her even worse. Lucio S tier. I'm actually put Lucio on a SS tier. I think he's incredibly good. The problem, again, here's another balance problem. The reason why Lucio is good is not because of his healing. The reason why Lucio is incredibly good is because of his speed boost and his ult. His ult's crazy good. And then you're mainly just playing him for the speed boost. So if they nerf the speed boost and they buff his healing, then nobody's going to ever play him again. So again, they don't know how to balance their game. They really don't. The only reason people play Lucio is for the speed boost, but then if they nerf the speed boost, then he'll be pretty much unplayable unless they buff some other part about him. They can't buff his ult. What, do they buff his damage? I don't know what they would do. Again, they don't know how to balance their game. They really don't know how to balance. His healing's garbage, so like the only reason you play Lucio is just for the speed boost. If your team can just move around faster, you give your team such an advantage over the enemy team. Like and he's really easy to play too, because all you really need to do to actually get healing, you don't really even need to do anything. All you need to do is just stand with your team. Like that's all you need to do, even if you want to heal people. Bastion got buffed. I think he's still really bad. C tier. He gets dolphed too easy. Like the problem with Bastion is, you wait for him to go out of his turret configuration, so where he can't melt you, and then you just go and dive on him, because then he can't do anything. It just comes down to playing and waiting out his cooldowns, and that's what it's really about. It still has that huge problem. McCree, I'm going to put McCree A tier. I think he's better than he was in Overwatch or Season 1, or if he was in Season 1, because he got a bit of a buff with the reload passive for the DPS now, so he is a little bit better, but not much better. Echo, I don't even see Echo being played at all. I think she has potential to be really good, but nobody plays her. I think the real problem why nobody plays her is because her ult just takes forever to charge. Her ult is one of the coolest ults in the game, and it's so difficult to get, and it takes forever to charge, which is another blunder on the balance team's part. I don't know how you can have such a cool, unique identity to a character, but then have it maybe only be able to luckily get like 1 or maybe 2 ults per game, depending on how long the match goes with how long it takes to charge. Genji's finally balanced, guys. Holy shit. Genji finally got balanced. This is where Genji belongs. Good. The only good balance change they did towards the middle of Season 1 was nerf the shit out of Genji and make him balance. Like, make him actually balanced. Good. Genji's balanced, finally. Wow, the one good balance change the Overwatch dev team actually did. From the middle of Season 1 up until now. That's where he should stay. No more Genji buffs, no more changes. This is where he stays. That if they change anything else about him and buff him ever again, that this goes to show you how fucking stupid they are and they don't know how to balance their game. Which I'm sure they'll do. I'm sure they're going to buff Genji again for Season 3. They'll probably end up touching him and he'll be broken again. Hanzo, C tier. The only one thing that Hanzo has is the one shot if you can land a headshot. And apart from that, he just doesn't do anything. Gets dove way too easy and his damage isn't really the greatest. Junkrat in your middle tiers, I think, is A tier. He's average in your middle tiers of play because people don't really know how to play against him as good. He gets a lot more value. Mei is garbage. Throw pick. They completely ruined her. Until they give the freeze back on her primary weapon, she's going to be one of the worst DPS in the game. They completely fucking ruined Mei. Another character that they took the identity of the character away from Overwatch 1 going into Overwatch 2 and completely neutered and just ruined the character, which is really sad. Pharah, I'm going to put Pharah at A tier. It depends on what team you're going against. If you're going against Hitscan, even being like a Pharah main, Pharah is like one of my most played DPS heroes. And even being like just playing the shit out of her, it actually is really difficult to go against McCree and Ashe now because of the DPS passive. They're able to reload a lot faster right now. So I've been finding it a little bit more difficult. And Soldrin's still incredibly good too. Soldrin's still one-tapping you at like medium range. So you got to fight the Soldrin at long range, and it's really difficult to do that because she still has more mobility than you, so she can just hide behind a wall or whatever and just run away. So if you want to fight her, you got to get to medium or close range to actually fight her, and then she just still one-taps you pretty much. So she can be difficult to play, but I'm going to put her A tier because she is better in your middle tiers of ranked. Reaper. Here goes another character up into the SS tier that's a free win. One of the best DPS in the game. All you need to do, y'all, if you're in your mid-tier ranked games, all you need to do, just fucking run at people. That's all you need to do. You get so much lifesteal back, and if you see a tank on the enemy team, just run at them. As long as they don't have a shield, and they don't have really that much of their team around them, if it's like a 1v1 or like maybe a 2v1, depending on who's there. Like, just run at their backline, run at the supports, dive the supports the entire game. You pretty much win all the 1v1s versus supports. The majority of the tanks in the game, like D.Va, Orisa, Hog especially, you're pretty much 2-3-shotting some of the tanks, depending on headshots. Especially Hog. You're pretty much almost, I think, 3-shotting him with headshots. It's crazy. Again, does way too much damage and just is Brandon. And his ult's incredibly good, too. If you can land a really good ult and just drop into somebody's backline or get like 2 kills, even like 1 or 2 kills with an ult every single time, that's crazy value. Incredibly good. Absolutely brain dead. I don't know what they need to do to nerf Reaper. I think they need to nerf his damage. His damage is too good. They need to nerf his damage significantly, I think. And that's the real problem that he's having. Does way too much damage. Way too much mobility and way too much damage. Sojourn. Wow, another character going for the second season in a row right up into free win SS tier. What a surprise. You want to know the only change they actually did to her? They made it so her range isn't as good, so you can still one-tap people. Granted, it's not an actual, like, one-shot anymore, but granted, the most of the time you're going to be fighting somebody, they're always going to have a little bit of damage on them anyways. They're not going to be at full 100% health, especially if you're constantly fighting. So you're still technically one-tapping somebody the majority of the time from, like, I think a fully charged headshot now does, I think it's, like, 95% of, like, a squishy's health, I think it is. So it's not a full 100% one tap, but like as long as somebody's losing like 10 health and doesn't have like 10 health, you're still getting one tap. So it's not really much of a change. And plus you pair that with a Mercy, you're still one tapping somebody from full. So They didn't fix her issues at all. The only thing that is changed about her is she doesn't have nearly as much range. But you're still fighting the optimal range you're fighting with her anyways is close to medium range. So she's still doing the amount of damage she did last patch, but she just can't one-shot you from across the map like Widowmaker. That's the only change she's got. Still has some of the best mobility in the game for a DPS hero. Still the craziest damage ever. Still an ult that can still just absolutely destroy and mow down teams. Crazy. Soldier is actually one of the most broken heroes that I think Overwatch has ever had. Like, she's completely ruined the game for me. She really has. She's made me halfway through Season 1 not even want to fucking play the game with how much she's being played and how much I had to play against her and how frustrating it is to play against her. She pretty much ruined the entire, at least pretty much like half of Season 1, like the middle to like end of Season 1 for me. I didn't even want to play the game because of her. That's really fucking pathetic. And it's cool to show you how bad the balance for this game is, dude. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Soldier S tier. I can't put, like, I want to put Soldier lower, but I can't. His ult is legit auto aim. I can't put that any lower. Sombra got nerfed. I still think she has potential. I don't think she's worthless, but she got nerfed to the point where she's not really nearly as annoying, and she actually takes skill to play now, which is good. So, Symmetra got a bit some nerfs. I still don't think she's that good. I'm put her C tier. Very situational. Depends on what team you're going against and what map. Torb, sleeper pick right now, S tier. Torb does a shit ton of damage. You have extreme survivability with your overload. Really, really good. Solid ult. Really solid damage. It's really, really solid right now. Tracer got buffed. I'm going to put Tracer at A tier. I think she is better than Season 1, but it takes skill to actually use her. So if you don't know what you're doing, you're just going to feed. But if you can actually at least play her like up to like an average type level, you can get away with her now because she actually does damage. The problem with Season 1, when she had her damage nerfed into the ground, is that you would still do everything perfectly and you still wouldn't be able to do nearly enough damage and stuff. And she was getting out-damaged by everything else. Widow, crazy. Widow's crazy. She is on the borderline of going into SS tier again, especially with a lot of the maps that are currently in rotation are really good Widow maps. Even if you didn't know how to play her like to an average level. Like, I barely even play Widowmaker, and I've been going in some of these ranked games and just playing her on some of her good maps, and I've been doing really good. Like, she doesn't really even take that much skill to play anymore. She really don't. Just play her on one of her good maps, and you'll still do really well. Just being able to one-tap somebody on the other side of the map and getting an automatic pick every single time is crazy. Just single out like 1 or 2 people on the enemy team that you can kill every time, and just keep killing them the entire game. That's how you play Widow. You got Ashe. I'm going to put Ashe in A tier. Average. Nothing with her's really changed, and if anything, she's a little bit better because of the DPS passive and the reload speed, so she's able to get her clip back fully a lot faster. And there you have it, y'all. There you have it, the entire Overwatch tier list. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If there's anything I did not talk about, or if you guys disagree with me on something, or if I forgot to mention something, let me know.